All right, many times you'll come to a pattern where it tells you to M1 or make one, which is simply increasing and making a brand new stitch where there wasn't one before. So a common technique for doing this is to look at the bar in between your stitches here. You can see that, and then to use that and make a stitch from it. So if we would like for our bar increase to lean to the right, we'll put our left hand needle in from the back and then simply knit into the front portion of that. Now that's a little bit tight, so I like to kind of give it some slack and then hold that tight with my back index finger there and knit into the front. Okay, so you can see how that works. We just made a brand new stitch where there wasn't one before. Now that is not my favorite increase because it still does tend to leave a little bit of a hole. So I'd rather not have holes in my knitting unless it's an intentional design element like in lace work, then that's a different matter. If I want this bar increase to lean to the left, then I'll put my left hand needle into the bar from the front, pick that up, and then I'll knit into the back of it. And again, it's a little tight, so I'm gonna have to give it a little slack, pinch it down with my back finger there, left index finger, knit into the back of that stitch. Okay, let's do another couple and I'll show you that again. If I want it to lean to the right, I'll go in from the back, pick that up, but I'm going to knit into the front of it to give it a little half twist and try to close any possibility of a gap or a hole. See, that's really kind of hard to get into. I have to kind of give it some slack. There we go. Okay. Now it still, in my opinion, does leave a hole. So again, this is not my favorite increase unless it's a design element that you intend or for some reason you just choose this. If I want the increase to lean to the left, then I'll go in from the front and I'll knit into the back of it. Okay. Sometimes I actually kind of just work that around. There we go. Into the back. Okay. Now, if you were to purl back across here and then do this increases in the same spot again, you would see a slant to the left or a slant to the right. And those are called paired increases because if you're doing one to the right, then you're going to do another one at the opposite side to the left. And those are paired, meaning you wouldn't just do one necessarily. So like that works well for the toe of a sock or a sweater, you know, where you want things to be symmetrical from side to side. Okay, so that's the bar increases. All right, now I'm going to show you, I'll use the rest of my sample piece here to show you another one. Another one might be when the pattern says KFB, or you knit into the front, and then you don't take it off of the left needle, but you curl your needle around and you knit right back into the back portion of that same stitch. So you've actually made 2 stitches out of 1. Now, Cat Bordy would call this a knit zit. Now, that's where you have that kind of a pearl bump looking thing on the front. Again, not my favorite. I don't want knit zits. Zits are never good, and not in your knitting. Again, though, if that's an intentional design element, then that's a different matter. But that is knitting into the front and the back, knit into the front and back, or KFB. So again, you knit into the front like normal, but do not remove the stitch. You simply take your right hand needle back to the back and knit into the back of that same stitch. Again, there are times when that's perfectly appropriate to have a knit zit. It's just not my favorite increase. Okay, now I'll show you the one that I use 99% of the time. Let me get to the end of the row here. Okay, I will show you the increase that I prefer. My favorite increase for paired increases, if you want to knit things that are symmetrical and you have a right and left leaning increase, would be the lifted leaning increases. So, for example, if I'm knitting a sock and I want to do an increase that leans to the right, then I'm simply going to take this side of the stitch below. So this is the previous row, not the row that's on the needle, but the previous row. And I'm simply going to take this side of this stitch and lift it up and put it on my needle. Okay? And then I'm just going to knit right into that. All right. And then I'll knit the next one. Okay, so that's pretty easy, and it doesn't tend to leave any kind of hole or a gap. See that? You can even barely tell that's there. I can see that it's right here, but it blends in very, very well. So that one's going to lean to the right. Now if I want to do the left increase, I have just knitted this stitch, so I don't want to take this one because it's just barely been done. I'm going to grab the one below there. Okay? That's going to be the one I knit into. When I pick that up, though, it's oriented incorrectly. It looks like a twisted stitch, doesn't it? Because the forward leg is in the back, when normally, if you look at our other stitches, here, the forward leg's in the front. So to fix that, I'm just going to knit into the back of it, and that will turn it 180 degrees and put it seated correctly on the needle. Okay, so not to worry, I'll show you a couple more times. Okay, a right leaning lifted increase. I simply go to the left needle, the next one coming up, and I get a hold of the right hand portion of that stitch below and just lift it up and put it on the needle and knit right into it. Okay, easy. Now for a left leaning increase, I'm going to go to the right needle, and I'm going to not do the one that's right here, but the one below. Okay, right there. And I'm going to knit into the back portion of that so that I orient it and I make it seated facing the proper way on the needle. Okay. Now, the reason I like those, as I mentioned a moment ago, is they don't leave a hole. They don't make a mess. So you can see that's the right leaning. Here's another one. But they're, they look pretty good, and especially if you're doing a sock and you want everything to lean toward the toe or lean toward the gusset. If you're doing a toe-up sock, you want it to match the curvature going around. I really like the left and right leaning lifted increases. Okay, let me show you one last time. If I want this one to lean to the right, I'm going to go to the left needle, get a hold of the right hand portion of that stitch, or the right side of it, and just lift that right up on there and knit into it. Okay, easy. Now for the lefty, I'm going to go to the right hand needle, so you look to the opposite one. So it's a left leaning increase. I'm going to pick it up from the right hand side, and instead of doing the one that I just knitted, I need to go to the row below that and grab a hold of that half right there. But you can see that it's not seated properly on the needle, so I'm going to knit into the back of it so that it turns it 180 degrees and it seats it properly. Okay, that's really all there is to it. Now when we purl back across there, I'll show you what that looks like here in just a moment. You won't be able to see a hole or a visible flaw where those increases are. That's why I like that so much. Now I first learned this from Kat Bordy. I don't know what her real name is. Maybe it's Catherine or whatever, but it's C-A-T, and her last name is Bordy. I'm not sure if that's even pronounced right, but it's B-O-R-D-H-I. And this I first learned, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. She had a YouTube video where she showed how to do these, and I've just used it ever since. So they're pretty awesome. So I'll show you what this looks like in just a moment. All right, let me show you what we have here. It actually looks pretty good. If you look, you can tell where the increases are, right? So there's one there. There's one there. There's another one. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it is, once you're not stretching it and pulling on it, if I just put it over here on the cable portion of this needle, it definitely doesn't leave as much, I don't think it does leave as much of a visible hole or a knit zit as the other two previous methods. So the lifted leaning increases that I've just shown you are definitely my personal choice for any kind of increase, or make one in your pattern. If it doesn't matter whether it's right or left leaning, if you're just increasing a bunch across, a hat, and you don't care which way it leans, then just pick ones. I usually would do the right one because it's more convenient. It's just a little easier than hunting down the row below for the left leaning increase. But, you know, do whatever works best for you. All right, I hope that helps. Click the thumbs up, leave a like, leave a comment below if you have any questions. And as always, thanks for watching.